Just on trying to get the family back together.
Xanthia Walsh and her family were away when fire struck the family home in Conjola, 3 hours south of Sydney. They all escaped unharmed, but their house was completely destroyed.
It was a family effort to build the house, so it's hit a lot of people quite hard. It used to be a holiday house prior to us living in it, so all of our families stayed in there at some point or another.
Well, Anna Corrin is in Nowra on the south coast of New South Wales and joins us now live. And Anna, the death toll has risen, the number of homes destroyed has increased, and you've just been speaking there to people fleeing the fires. A pretty tough start to 2020.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Linda, you're from Australia as well. We know that this is a country prone to bushfires. We have a fire season every year, but this season is unprecedented. It is the worst fire season on record, and that is because of the sustained temperatures for such a long time. This fire season began months ago, and we are only in January. This is going to go on for months, and these firefighters have been going out there day after day trying to not just fight these fires but contain these fires. We are here at a staging ground in Nowra, south of New South Wales, where there was a shift change. Fireys came and listened to where they have to go, what the instructions are for today. Obviously, the priority is to get people out of those fire zones, residents and holiday makers here on the south coast. But one of them showed us footage of what they were doing yesterday, and he was back burning. There is so much fuel, so much debris in these state forests surrounding many of these coastal towns. He said that they lit the flame and that within seconds it had taken over the tree, and that was without any wind. You know, conditions have eased in the last couple of days, temperatures down, winds are down, but tomorrow we are expecting a return of the catastrophic conditions that we saw on New Year's Eve, and that is where there was that tragic loss of life, where people lost their homes, and it's terrifying for the people who are here trying to get out or who are trying to protect their property. Linda.
Yeah, absolutely terrifying. We're thinking of all those people this weekend as those conditions are expected to get worse. Anna Corrin for us in Nowra on the New South Wales South Coast. Thank you so much. And I want to talk more about those conditions with our meteorologist, Alison Chinchar. Alison, just explain what is expected this weekend. What is the forecast?
Unfortunately, you're going to be seeing some increase, especially in the winds, which is the last thing you want to see. Here's the basic information that we know here. In New South Wales and Victoria, you still have over 160 active fires. 49 of those have been deemed out of control at this point. We also know that fire generates its own weather. You can see the smoke and then what looks like almost clouds on top of them. And it's actually thunderstorms that are forming because of the lightning, because of that intense heat that is there. And it can often form what we call fire nados. We've had reports of these in Australia because of what's happening. So here's how this works. You have that intense rising heat, both from the temperatures there themselves, but also the heat coming off of the fires. You have that converging air coming in, and that's what gives it that rotating column of air. And that's how you end up getting some of these fire nados. And they make it very dangerous for the firefighters because they can pop up out of nowhere. Now, one thing to note, we have a total fire ban in this particular region. Some areas looking at a fire danger level of 3 out of 6. Here's that cold front we've been talking about. That's the one that's going to make its way in. After it pushes through, we will finally get some much needed cooler temperatures. The problem is out ahead of it, temperatures well above average, and yes, very strong winds. And that not only can trigger new fires, it can take the ones that exist already and continue to push them and spread them out. Look at this, 50, 60, 70 kilometer per hour winds, even through Sunday. We don't start to see that come back down, Linda, until we get into Monday as that cold front finally exits. Rain, Linda, that's going to be one of the biggest things that people need. There just isn't really much of it in the forecast, at least in the short term, maybe at best up to 25 millimeters.
Gosh, not anywhere near as much as what they need. Of course, as this time of year, we know bushfires can be bad in Australia, but why is this one so severe? Right,
so you see some of these heat waves that you get, the short-term ones that we talk about. Like, for example, Saturday, well above average in Sydney. The key thing that you have to understand is you have to look back at the last year. It hasn't just been very hot, it's been very dry. In fact, this was the driest year for Australia on record. In fact, look at how low that number goes. They only had 277 millimeters of